What is up, Flick fans? Welcome back to my channel. Today, I'm going to leave that right there, and we are going to talk about the brand new Rian Johnson film that is Knives Out. I need your comments down below. Is this a movie you were looking forward to? Let's talk about it. So, starring Daniel Craig, Chris Evans, so on and so forth, directed by Rian Johnson, a detective investigates the death of a patriarch of an eccentric, combative family. So in the same vein of A Clue, this is a murder mystery, but it's also a comedic, crime-centric, dramatic movie that has so many cogs and elements to it that if they don't come together and mesh well, it could have fallen completely flat and really fallen apart. I mentioned Rian Johnson. That's the name that everyone's focusing on, and I encourage you, look past your love or your hatred of The Last Jedi and look at a movie like Looper. I think Looper is brilliant. One of my favorite movies of that year. Until The Last Jedi came out, I was so excited about anything and everything that Rian Johnson was doing, but now it feels like every time I speak of the name of the man's essence, people just tear each other apart. But they should not be doing that because the man has made some pretty incredible films. I haven't loved all of his movies, but for the most part, they have worked well. Knives Out had me a bit nervous. This is a fantastic cast. It's a stacked cast. I already mentioned Daniel Craig and Chris Evans, but you also have Ana de Armas and Jamie Lee Curtis, Michael Shannon, Don Johnson, Toni Collette, Lakeith Stanfield, Christopher Plummer, Catherine Langford, so on and so forth. I could go all day because it really is just all there. Everything that you want and need is at the beginning of this movie, and you're getting nervous going in like, oh, is this all going to come together? Is it going to mesh? Because everything seems like it's going to work out perfectly, and in my opinion, it's not perfect, but it's darn close, man. I had such a fun and entertaining time watching this movie, and it wasn't just me. My entire audience, a packed theater, we were having a blast. Everyone was laughing, and that's the thing about this movie that got me, man. I was not expecting it to be this funny. And my brother went with me, and he told me this going in. He's like, well, I anticipate more of an Oscar baity, a slower-paced movie. Not that he hates that kind of film, but that's what we both kind of expected. It's not what Knives Out is. I mean, it has Oscar qualities to it if you look at the direction and the performances and the writing and the slick script and really the style of the entire movie. It's all there, but it's not slow. It's not a pacing that some people are going to be turned off by. No, it's a very fast-paced movie with a lot of entertainment, a lot of humor, and a really cool style. It has everything that audiences, both general and very specific and intricate audiences, are going to take a lot out of, and it really is a movie for everyone. I don't really know who I can't recommend this film to. Everyone loves a good murder mystery. I, for one, am not the biggest fan of like a period piece, and it's not a period piece necessarily, but I saw that vibe going in from the trailer. Well, it didn't feel that way because it had this distinct style to it that makes it feel like it's very timely, mixed with the fact that you're dealing with this cast, and it seems like every time we're with a specific character or dealing with the dynamic between two or three characters, it works so well because the cast is so great, yes, but the script, man, it just keeps the story flowing and moving. My biggest issue with this film, and it's a very minor issue, but it's honestly the fact that I did see a few of the twists. Not a spoiler to say there's a twist in a murder mystery movie, but I did see a few of those things coming, but it felt like every time they revealed something that I anticipated, the next turn in the film would be something that caught me off guard, and I'm sitting back wondering, how are they going to go about this particular decision? They do it, they somehow pull it off, and even if something is predictable in this film, normally that would get on my nerves, but I was so thoroughly entertained by what was happening on screen when it was predictable. I didn't care all that much because you have Chris Evans on screen at one moment, then Daniel Craig just honing in on this Colonel Sanders-esque, like they say in the movie, detective performance, the guy who is going to solve this case no matter what it takes. But the real standout for me is Ana de Armas, who, she's great, man. I loved her in Blade Runner 2049. She has a big part, a big role to play in this movie. as does everyone really, but it's just her performance was so heartfelt and wonderful, and I loved everything about it. Even the limited amount of screen time that a Christopher Plummer gets is wonderful. He makes the absolute best of it. Chris Evans, it takes him a bit to come into the movie. Once he does, he is as funny as you saw in the trailers. Lakeith Stanfield is another one who is very subtle and reserved, as are a few of these main actors and characters here. When they're subtle, it's effectively subtle. It's not boring subtle. I don't know of anything I can say about this movie that is boring. Nothing here is boring, folks. You're just kept on your toes the entire time, and you're wondering who did it. Who committed this crime? Everyone is a suspect here in this Rian Johnson whodunit, as they say in the trailers, and it's all just so intelligently made, man. You're consistently entertained. If we're talking from a scene-to-scene basis, as in the period of time between, when you're trying to figure things out or you're sitting back and contemplating whether or not this movie is capturing you as much as it possibly could be, this may be the most entertaining movie I've watched this year. And I'm not just saying that, but let's get this out of the way. I'm not just saying that because I'm a Rian Johnson shill. Yes, I love Looper. I do have issues with The Last Jedi. In terms of comparing it to other Star Wars films, it does do some things that I'm not the biggest fan of, right? So I'm not going to sit here and defend the guy if he brings us a crappy movie. That's not the way I work. If I didn't like Knives Out, I would tell you I didn't like Knives Out. I didn't think I would like this movie all that much. Honestly, I knew I would have some fun with it and enjoy it. I just didn't know it was going to be as slick, stylistic, fun, thoroughly entertaining all the way through as it ended up being. And it's not just me. My brother, he felt the exact same way. He came out going, wow. And I'm not making that up. I can prove that he really enjoyed the movie. Just tell the people that you enjoyed the film.
I enjoyed the film.
Tell them how much you liked it.
Why do you have Knives Out?
Tell them you enjoyed the film.
I enjoyed the film.
He's not lying to you, I swear. Did you like it?
Yes, I did.
No, we did, guys. We had a wonderful time watching this movie. Everyone was coming out buzzing afterwards, and it's just such an entertaining thrill ride. Before I give you my score, if you enjoyed this video, if you like these reviews every single weekend, leave this thing a thumbs up. It helps out this channel and this video. And I'm going pretty high with my score. I'm going a 92%. One of the most entertaining times I've had at the theater all year, and I think it's one of my favorite movies of the year. To see where it ranks on my list right now, before I start switching everything up, you can get on my Letterboxd page, and stay tuned because there are more reviews to come today and tomorrow. This is still a weekend full of things that I want to talk about with you guys. Stay tuned to this channel. Hit that notification bell for all of my videos. You are truly the best, and I'll see you soon.